It's hard to believe, but Ford is about to start taking orders for the new 26 Ford Super Duty. And so this is the perfect opportunity to show you everything that Ford got wrong on the 2025 Ford Super Duty. And for context, this is not a bash session of the new 25 Ford Super Duty. What this is an opportunity for us to give feedback to Ford Motor Company to help us on the new 26 Super Duty or whenever they've got the next refresh lined up. So the very first thing that I think Ford should be giving us on the new Super Duty is something called Bluecruise. You know, we've got this on the F-150, we've got it on the Expedition. Ford's making a lot of money on it because it is, at the end of the day, a subscription model, but it's a fantastic feature that I'm gladly, willingly paying for. And so I think it would be a great opportunity for Ford to increase the revenue if they would give us Bluecruise on the new Super Duty. But not just any Bluecruise, you need to make sure you give us Bluecruise with the ability to tow a trailer. How cool would it be to have a truck that can drive and pull a trailer without any hands or any feet? The next thing Ford got wrong on the 25 Super Duty might not surprise you if you've been watching any of our videos, and that is going to be the Keyless Entry Keypad. For some weird but reason, Ford Motor Company decided to delete it for 2025, all to save, what, $10 or $15 on a truck that could easily cost in excess of $100,000. Now the good news is they've got these stick-on pads that you can add after the fact, but it's not quite the same as having it hardwired directly into that B-pillar. So for 2026, Ford, please give us a dedicated hardwired keyless entry keypad. The next change I would love to see for 2026 Super Duties has to do with the tire pressure monitoring system, TPMS. Now, you may realize that on these trucks that are designed for towing, they require a lot of PSI, a lot of air in those tires, especially in the rear. It's what allows for great towing capabilities. But a lot of people like to customize their vehicles just like this one. This one has been customized by TCcustoms with one of the coolest lift kits on the market, a FabTech coilover lift that I'm going to show you in just a second. But why is all of that relevant? Well, the problem is when you go to a taller tire like this one, a 37-inch tire, you can't have the same PSI as a very small tire. Even though these tires are rated to tow the same amount, because it's so much bigger, it requires less PSI. And when you put less PSI in it, it has a tendency sometimes to trigger the TPMS light on the dashboard. I would love to see more flexibility from the factory to set where the triggers come in on the TPMS sensor, meaning that if you want to go with bigger tires, you can lower the threshold so that way it's not popping on the light the second that it gets cold outside. As promised, take a look at this insane suspension system. This is a Dirt Logic coilover system from our friends over at FabTech Motorsports. Now, we do have a great relationship with those guys over there, but this is in no way a paid or a sponsored video. We just happen to be a dealer for their stuff, and look how massive this coilover is. This is the new 4.0 coilover, and I am a 6'3" man. I'm not small by any means, and you can see how massive this coilover remote reservoir is. That is a ton of extra fluid. You could absolutely jump this thing through the air. In my opinion, I think this is the best coilover you can actually get on a Super Duty in today's market. And another cool fact for you on that is that if you don't like the way that this thing is valved, you can actually send it back to FabTech and they will revalve it either softer or lighter for you, no matter how you want to do it. They'll do that for you for free at least one time when you buy this suspension system. But I will say, after driving it, I don't actually think it needs to be revalved. It's just nice to know FabTech's got your back in case you need a custom application. The next change I would love to see on the new 26 or later Super Duty has to do with the interior. Now, I love the fact that you've got hard dedicated buttons. So if you're working out of your Super Duty, working at the job site, it's really cold, or you just have work gloves on, you can still alter the air conditioner with physical switches. It's nice to see that in a day and age where everything's going on to the digital screen. But one thing I would love and have always asked for is a little bit more options when it comes to the center console shifter, or a lack thereof. Take a look at this. Every single one of these Super Duties, no matter if you get the cheapest one on the planet or you get one that's $110,000, they've all got the column shifter, no center console shifter. Now, why is that? Maybe it's so that way you've got two cup holders here, but you can slide this over and now you've got twice as many cup holders. So now you've got four here, you've got two in each of the doors. how many cup holders do you really need? It would be nice to give us the ability to have an option to have a center console shifter right here, just in case you want it. Now I get it, some of y'all like to have this column shifter, and if that's you, I want to hear from you down in the comments, but I really think it'd be nice to give customers an option. You've already got the technology worked out and hammered out in the new F-150. Give us the option for it in the Super Duty. The last thing Ford needs to change on the next generation Super Duty is by far the most controversial one, and I also think it's going to happen, and I'm going to explain it to you. That's Power Onboard. Take a look inside the bed of this truck. First thing you're going to notice is this one does not have that option, which is the Power Onboard. Basically, you get the ability to have up to 2 kilowatts of continuous power, and you can power like a job site out here. But the crazy thing is the F-150 can do up to 7.2 kilowatts worth of continuous power. But they do it because of one very specific feature. That is only available in the hybrid. And because you've got that hybrid with an extra battery pack, you have the ability to store more electricity and then give it out on demand. The truck works like a generator. And I have a sneaky suspicion that the next generation Super Duty will have an alternative fuel option. I'm calling it a hybrid because at the end of the day, do I think it's important for us to get crazy good gas mileage or diesel mileage in a Super Duty? I don't think so. But what I think is going to happen is Ford's going to use the hybrid technology to power more things to make your truck more convenient, not necessarily just more fuel efficient. So let me know down below, would you ever buy a hybrid Super Duty if it meant a whole lot more capability in things outside of just fuel economy? Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you want to order one of these trucks at invoice pricing, you can actually do that. Just call the number on the screen to get connected to our sister company, Town & Country Ford. Thanks so much for watching this video, and have a great day. Peace.